What's up, guys? It's Spargsy here. As you may or may not know, the official trailer for Star Wars Battlefront came out a few hours ago, hopefully, depending on when I've uploaded this, whatever. Um, if you haven't seen it, here you go. We're going to go through it afterwards, but for now, enjoy.
I've waited 30 years for this. I still remember my last orders. The day the real war began.
The rebellion cannot be allowed to persist. We weren't expecting special forces.
That's the point, Sergeant.
Impossible.
Commander, what do we do now?
We avenge our Emperor.
Resistance. Rebellion. You will burn these ideas away.
Hope cannot save them!
PlayStation.
Okay, first thing we can notice is that once again PlayStation are sponsoring the advertising for it. Let's hope that that PlayStation doesn't get any exclusive content, because console exclusive stuff on multi-platform games is so stupid. I absolutely hate it. I hated it when COD did it on Xbox and then they moved to PlayStation. You know, it just give us the whole game, please. Please. Next, I think we can notice that this is all in-engine footage. Granted, at the end of the trailer they say captured on PlayStation 4, but to me that doesn't matter too much. I mean, it's going to be similar on Xbox One. I mean, yeah, if you bother about that kind of stuff, kind of get a life. But now let's get into the meat of this trailer. Now this thing we've seen in Star Wars Rebels, I believe, before, and they're kind of like spy mini probe droids like the ones in episode 5. I'm excited to see if we'll be able to use these properly in the campaign, rather than just seeing it in cutscenes or something. Maybe there'll be a similar thing in multiplayer, a similar star card if they keep that system around. But I think this is a good step forward. So here we can see our Imperial Special Forces squad kicking absolute ass, kind of like what Spartans would do in Halo. They look to be the super soldiers of the Empire, which we haven't really seen up close before, even though they have existed. So I think this is going to be a really interesting story. It's going to be really interesting to see how they're going to tackle the Imperial soldiers' perspective of the end of Episode 6 and the destruction of the Death Star, because as we all know, everyone sees it as a victory, but having completely spinning that on its head and seeing it as a defeat is going to be a really nice change, and I think it's a really good place to go and make a brand new story. So this piqued my interest. It seems we have a robotic clone of the Emperor. Now, whether this is explained as if it's like a slice of his mind or whatever, the Emperor technically is still alive after episode 6 and after all we know. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plot point develops, if this robot form gets destroyed or whatever. And as we can see, our Imperial, nearly said rebel, Imperial Special Forces being extremely loyal even to what effectively is a robot. Or, you never know, the Emperor somehow may have survived the Death Star explosion, kind of like how Darth Maul survived getting chopped in half in episode 1. You never know these days with Star Wars. It's completely random. So this meetup with Luke Skywalker, I think, is going to be very interesting. I don't think it's going to be a battle. I mean, it could be the end of the game or whatever, but I don't think it's going to be like that. I think it's going to be Luke battling with our main protagonist's mind, and she may go through a mental struggle of not knowing what's right and what's wrong, and if she's been living a lie all this time, being loyal to the Emperor, and then it could be a really impressive story. Now we move on to the part of the trailer that's less about the story and more focusing on the action and the multiplayer. So, I'm assuming Fighter Squadron's going to return by this amazing TIE Fighter battle. I know it's all CGI and we'll never quite know what it's going to be like until the game releases or until we get some gameplay in the next few months with E3 and EA Play coming around. But as we can see, we are getting all eras. The prequels, the original trilogy, and the sequels. If that doesn't blow your mind, I don't know what else will. I can't quite wrap my head around it. I really, really want the game to launch with enough content. You know, I don't think it's going to be the size of what the original Battlefront 2 came out with all those planets and maps. But I genuinely think this is going to be a big launch. This is going to be a big game at launch. And hopefully we don't have to pay for a season pass. If we have to pay for a season pass, I really hope this game picks up a free DLC plan. I think it's got so much potential if it gets rid of all the casualness and, you know, make it a bit more engaging. This game's future would be amazing. What's interesting as well is that here we can see the land speeder, or Luke's land speeder potentially. By the looks of that engine, there's a possibility we got a annoying CGI prequel thing. Maybe he's rideable, given that we will evidently have rideable Tauntauns this time around. Holy crap, was that needed in the first game. Also, it looks like we may be revisiting Rogue One era stuff. This to me looks maybe like the Shield Gate. I'm not quite sure actually what this is. I mean, it's reminiscent of the Shield Gate, but it's got a slightly different design. So if we're getting that, I'm all for it, because I really like the Rogue One Shield Gate stuff in Battlefront 1. I think it was a step in the right direction. And hopefully this also means we're going to get proper space battles by the looks of this, when we can, I want to be able to like land in ships, take out the reactors like I did in Battlefront 2 on the PS2. That would be awesome. That would be so much fun. Now here we see an epic fight between Rey and Kylo Ren at the end. I'm not sure if this is going to be in the game or if this is just to hype us up for there being Force Awakens and sequel content. I think it would be cool, but by the looks of what the campaign's going to be, I don't think this is going to be playable. It may be a cutscene or something. And lastly, what would an EA game be without pre-order bonuses? Ah, how we love pre-order bonuses. So looking on the pre-order page, the standard edition gives you the pre-order bonuses of exclusive Kylo Ren and Rey themed looks inspired by Star Wars The Last Jedi. That's all fine. Cosmetic, I'm down with that. That's an okay pre-order bonus until we get to the next bullet point. Epic ability modifiers for Kylo Ren and Rey. That's obviously gameplay changing. If you're going to give players an advantage for pre-order, that's already going to break the game. and also an epic ability modifier for the Millennium Falcon, and much, much more. So I guess that this is going to be revealed over time if there's any more. And that's just the standard edition. Let's go on to the deluxe edition and see what the difference is. So you get a 3-day head start, fine, you know, whatever. Then there's upgraded versions of all 4 trooper classes. So we're getting trooper classes back, which is a good thing in my opinion, rather than just loadouts. I'm all for that actually. But if you're already giving people, maybe by the looks of this, advantages, and then 4 epic ability upgrades, is that going to be a multiplayer advantage? Then this, instant weapon unlocks and weapon modifications for each trooper class. That's skipping a whole load of progression that arguably the original Battlefront needed. Now I have no idea how the progression is going to be like on this version, but this might ruin the game for some people. Then you've got all the pre-order bonuses that I talked about before. So a lot of these details on the website do reveal a lot that the trailer doesn't directly reveal. I'll leave a link to it down below, but I'll go through some of the things here. So the single player is supposed to be a story that spans 30 years. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be the fall of the the Empire and the rise. Maybe we'll see our main protagonist be a crucial part of that. The next section is about the multiplayer. So it looks like we're still living with the 40 player limit rather than epic 64 players like we're used to in Battlefield. But we will be getting multiplayer in all 3 eras, like I've mentioned before, like we've all mentioned before. And by the looks of things, revel deep in class-based online gameplay. So class-based is a good thing compared to the old game with loadouts. Pilot a wide variety of land and air vehicles. Now I hope that they've ditched the power-up system, and I hope we're going to get in vehicles like we would in most other games with vehicles, like in Battlefield or in Halo. It's just, I want a teamwork vehicle. I don't want this to be a one-man army kind of game like the first game was. The next section is about space battles. It doesn't have any details about going in to blow up reactors and stuff, but so by the looks of things, it may be like the original. We don't know at this point. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Then we've got characters from every era. Good. I hope we get maps from every era too, so it doesn't look out of place. Split screen co-op. By the looks of things, it's going to be offline co-op once again, which is a bit of a bummer, but I understand it's difficult for multiplayer. I understand, but at the same time, I really wish that they could do it. Oh well. Then we've got customize and progress. So this is a bit about the progression in the game. So you'll be able to tailor unique abilities for each hero, trooper, and starfighter to gain the upper hand in battle with Star Wars Battlefront 2's diverse and powerful progression system. So this already sounds so much deeper than the original EA Battlefront progression. None of this star card thing to see at the moment, which in my opinion is a very good thing. Oh my god, it's already sounding really bright. This game has a bright future. Alright, so that was a quick look at these Star Wars Battlefront 2 reveal trailer and website and whatever. I'm quite excited about it. I think this game has a lot more potential than the original. I hope the original's disappointment doesn't affect this one's sales if it truly deserves them. I do, by the look of this, it does look a lot better. We've got, I think, 3 studios working on it. You've got 2 of the DICE studios and Criterion or whatever working on the single player, so that's good. It's going to be a big game. I just hope that they don't. I hope that EA don't ruin it with like a season pass or anything else that they could. I guess we're going to have to wait and see. If you liked this video, leave a like if you want. If you didn't, dislike, put put in the comments what you think I should do to improve. I know I can improve a lot on these. This is a kind of new format for me. I've never done something like this before. So let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe if you want to. If not, that's fine by me. And I'll see you guys in the next video.